Hello and welcome. Kerry here from Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet with our Thursday night carnivore Q&A. Hope everyone's doing really well. Adam, Ashley, Lynn, how you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Great.
We are looking forward to answering all of your questions tonight. Unfortunately, we're missing Dr. Nelson, but he'll probably be back next week. He's traveling right now. Before we kick things off and start answering your questions, we're going to do an announce giveaway. We're going to give away a Healing Humanity shirt in blue. So please post your best question or post your testimony of healing with hashtag ribeye. Hashtag ribeye. We're going to randomly pick one of those and we will send you a Healing Humanity shirt, testimony, or question. And before we kick things off, Ashley, do we have anything coming up we want to chat about?
Well, we do. But first, I got to say, if you do win the shirt in blue, it's not this blue. This might be a new design that we will have exclusively so far at Hack Your Health. So you have to, if you're going to Hack Your Health, you need to come by and visit our booth because Hack Your Health is what, 2 weeks away? Crazy, 2 weeks away, and that Saturday night, we have our big VIP dinner, which I believe tickets are still for sale, that you can come and help support Healing Humanity. We are super excited about this dinner. It's going to be incredible. And if I know there's a lot of tickets that have already sold, so I don't know how many are left. If you are planning to be at Hack Your Health, please make this an event you attend. It's going to be a great one.
Awesome. And I got to shout out real quick. Meat Stock 2026, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, May 2nd, May 3rd. You can get $50 off your ticket by using code Healing Humanity. Heck of a lineup there, too. Michaela Peterson's going to be there. Dr. Baker, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee. It's going to be an incredible lineup. So hope to see you guys there. If you're thinking about going, I'd encourage you to get your tickets as soon as possible because it will sell out. Yes. And the last thing I want to mention is if you have an incredible story of healing, share it at healinghumanity.movie. You can also watch our new trailer for our Healing Humanity documentary at healinghumanity.movie. You can sign up for a free newsletter. You can purchase our merchandise and shirts, and all of those proceeds go 100% towards our Healing Humanity project.
Do you also still have San Diego flyer by chance that you can post?
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot.
Definitely want to mention that because we now have the tickets available to where you can purchase. January 17th, we will be in San Diego, California. So I'm excited about that one. It's now officially on our website, healinghumanity.movie/events. To purchase tickets, we have our standard tickets, and we're doing a special VIP dinner at Fogo de Chao. If you are interested in attending that event or in the area, please make sure you get tickets for that. And that's available now on our website.
Love it. And there's a link in the description below. If you just missed that, you can click on the link to go to our events page and see all of the upcoming events we've got going. All right, you guys ready to answer some questions?
Yep.
Let's see what we got here. We have a question from Linda Flanagan. Hashtag ribeye. Do you think the carnivore diet will help my bulging disc pain in my neck?
From an inflammation standpoint, absolutely, because pain is associated with inflammation. So there's some things that aren't going to reverse. So for example, someone who has arthritis, it's because there's arthritis is actually a protective thing with your body. It develops these calcifications to protect an area that is abnormal, and it can cause pain, and other times it doesn't. It depends on how inflamed you are. Now, with a bulging disc in your neck, hopefully you're seeing like a spine doctor to get help with that. I don't know if it sounds like it might be a herniated disc, and I have actually had a herniated disc in my neck before. And depending on if it's putting pressure on your nerve, if it's putting pressure on your nerve, absolutely, that is painful. And for me, I know it depended on which way I moved my head, but just as far as helping with inflammation, absolutely. Because when the inflammation in your body goes down, your pain is going to go down. But I definitely would never promise to anybody that it's going to be a cure all, because when it comes to bulging discs in your neck, it's typically something that if it is going to go back into place, it usually takes time. It took mine at least a good solid year before it moved far enough back into place before it stopped giving me a lot of serious nerve symptoms.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't discourage anybody from doing carnivore because of something like that.
Absolutely.
All right. And Bob gifted 5 Homestead
man.
Home memberships. Thank you, Bob. Really appreciate that. Papa Carnivore, new member. Awesome. All right. The next question we have a comment from Karen. #Rib. I can't wait to meet you all at Hack Your Health. I will be at the registration desk.
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Oh, wonderful. I'm wondering if that's a,
Karen, Florida sunshine.
we'll have to make sure you let us know when we come by the registration desk.
Yeah, it's exciting. We have a booth at Hack Your Health, so if you guys are attending, make sure you head on over to the booth. We're in the Cool Kids neighborhood. I think we're right by Dr. Kilt's and some others. So come over and say hi.
Carnivore bar. Carnivore bar is right behind us. So if you see them, you'll see us.
We're gonna get some carnivore bar samples while we're out there.
I mean, I hope.
We're near Kilt's.
Slide some out the back.
Hack and Slack is asking, this question's for Adam. Does chicken really help to get over a cold?
Wow. I never really considered that, but that's an interesting question. So I wonder if there is something to that.
Broth,
you know,
Maybe.
yeah, the broth.
Maybe chicken soup or chicken broth. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're getting the the fats from the bones and the protein from the chicken itself. So yeah, maybe there is something to that, but I can't say for certain.
and it does thin the mucus, which is helpful when you're trying to get rid of it.
Jesus and carnivore. Kerry, this is my 4th comment today trying to tell you that Annabelle, my 13-year-old, got on the carnivore bandwagon,
Yay!
all from her own research, plus me being mom, of course. That is awesome, Becky. I'm so happy to hear that.
I'm curious, Becky, what was Annabelle researching that really kind of helped move her? Was she watching videos? What resource did she use? Because I want to know what pulled a 13-year-old to that resource. I think that's great.
It was probably "Is My Mom Crazy?"
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm gonna prove mom wrong.
She found one website that said no, she's not, and now she's
What's
there.
wrong with my
Only
mom?
kidding.
Maybe Becky having like nonstop YouTube content going on in the background rubbed off just a little bit, and Annabelle didn't even realize it.
Right.
That's awesome, Becky. Congratulations. All right. We have Keto 50. #Ribeye. I'll be seeing you at Hack Your Health. Question.
Sweet.
Any Dupuytren, aka Vikings disease, carnivore healers out there? That's the slowest thing that has healed in my 6-year carnivore life. I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly, and I don't know what that is. Anyone else have any ideas?
I don't know what Vikings disease is.
I don't either, but
Is that-
definitely.
Oh,
Eric?
Dupuytren's. That's where you've got the shortening. Yes, I had not heard it referred to as Viking disease, but I have heard of the Dupuytren's. It has to do with the shortening of the fascia and the connective tissue of your hands, and so you tend up at getting like contracted hands. I have not heard, but what I can tell you is that we know people with connective tissue diseases such as Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. One of our friends, Amy, has experienced improvement in her Ehlers-Danlos. Now that's kind of the opposite as far as her connective tissue is not sufficient, it's loose. She's got the loose joints. So it's the exact opposite. But one thing we do know about carnivore is that it tends to put your body back into whatever equilibrium it needs to be in. It just like with the bulging disc question, I would never tell someone not to try it because of something like that. And if nobody has that and has reported, you could be the first. And if it does get better, absolutely let us know, because that's a story that needs to be told.
Right. Good stuff. Hey, we need your questions. Post your questions. I felt bad last week because we had a ton of questions at the last minute. So #ribeye with your best question or your carnivore testimony. Coach Juliet says, I'm going to be like a fan at the Oscars at Hack Your Health.
Me too.
I have a question for Ashley. Ashley, as our resident meat expert and smoking expert, what do you recommend for smoking or deep frying or preparing a turkey for Thanksgiving? What's the best method for a carnivore?
For a carnivore, smoking is my favorite. I absolutely love to smoke a turkey. Since smoking turkeys, I don't know if I'll go back. I thought deep frying a turkey was the best ever, and I'd always heard peanut oil was the best. But I recently discovered, and this may have been where you're going with this question,
yeah.
because you're dying to know just as bad. But I last year I fried a turkey in bacon grease. And there is a product that you can actually purchase. Some of us have enough bacon grease that we have stored and saved, and I have plenty of jars as well. But I was using a couple of deep fryers because I was frying several turkeys, so I needed extra bacon grease. I found a product called Bacon Up. You can buy it on Amazon. It's a little more expensive because I think it's more expensive to ship it. But if you have a Bass Pro Shop near you, I found out they're a supplier. They have a 3-gallon tub that you can get, and I use that to deep fry my turkey. And again, same temperatures, other things that you would use normally on frying a turkey. I fry mine at 350, and depends on the weight of the turkey, of course, for how long, but it's usually about 5 minutes per pound. I try and go a little under that because I don't like it quite that done. But yeah, it's smoking is still my favorite. And by the way, you can also brine a turkey in just salt and water. You do not need the sugar. Every brine recipe out there that I've seen includes sugar. It's not necessary. Last year, I brined a turkey with just salt and just water, and it turned out fantastic.
That's precisely what I've been doing. So I pulled it out earlier. I brined it in salt water overnight, and it's been smoking all day, and it's sitting on the kitchen counter right now with a little towel over it, letting it come back and rest for a little bit. I'm looking forward to it. But man, when you were mentioning earlier, deep fried in bacon grease, I'm going to have to try that at some point. That sounds incredible.
One more Thanksgiving tip for turkey. If you want a good moist turkey, remember there's what's called carryover temperature. Just like it when you're cooking a steak, I pull mine out before it gets, they say cook a turkey to 265. I pull mine out about 255. I let it carry over about 10 degrees. That's during the rest period. So it is not carried over too high in temperature. So I would recommend that making sure you adjust for if you're just like Kerry's doing, if you're letting it rest, especially that long, it will continue to cook and carry over that temperature, especially in the inner parts of the meat that may be not measuring quite to that 265 when you pull it out.
Good stuff. All right, we got T-Pain Golf. Folate deficiency before starting carnivore. Is that concerning on carnivore?
Well, I have some thoughts on this. So with folate deficiency, I would be wanting to know, like, what is this reason? Like, have you had it investigated? Like, why do you have folate deficiencies? Because there's more than one reason for it. So if it's because you're not getting enough dietary folate, then I wouldn't. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to have plenty of folate with carnivore. If it is a gut issue where you're dealing with malabsorption, absolutely give your gut a chance to heal, and you'll likely see your folate levels go up. If it's because of drinking alcohol and you're no longer drinking alcohol, absolutely. Now, there are some medications that can interfere with folate absorption, and so it could be that you have to kind of watch with and work with your doctor. Anemia also be a problem. The body uses folate a lot more quickly with anemia. And so, but that's something that can heal on carnivore. The only thing I'd say to really watch out for is that if you do have the MTHFR variant, that could be something that needs to be looked at, because even on carnivore, if you have that variant, you're not necessarily going to be methylating the vitamins properly, and you may need to have a supplementation and for that. So I take a supplement called homocysteine supreme, which helps me methylate. My folate levels were very low. And so those are just some factors to consider. It's always going to be an N=1 experiment with yourself, but I would say definitely work with your doctor. You know, if you know why you have a deficiency, I would say if you don't know why, find out first what the source of the deficiency is. And there's so much that carnivore can help correct, and then just do it and see what happens.
All right. Just a quick reminder, we're going to be giving away a Healing Humanity shirt. So post your best question or testimony with hashtag ribeye, and make sure you're following Carnivore Today, Carnivore Brothers, and Midlife Carnivore, and Dr. Nelson. I have those links in the description. You got to make sure you're following them in order to win. Dr. Nelson is in the chat. Red light therapy may help Dupuytren's contracture. And Dr.
Okay,
Nelson
Kerry.
is shaking his head right now at the way I pronounce that word. So red light therapy.
Whoever named that, I don't know, maybe it was their last name, but it definitely does not roll off the tongue.
Right. All right. We have a question from James Worth. Can I cure my thyroid disease with carnivore? Adam, you have any thoughts on that one?
Well, I mean, anything is possible, but we probably should have opened this up with none of us are doctors. We're not your doctors, so none of this is medical advice. But eating a carnivore lifestyle is going to give you the best chance to help balance things out. And obviously, I mean, if you are diagnosed with thyroid disease, as you go through this process with carnivore, if you do decide to go that route, make sure that you continue to get the thyroid testing done, especially if you're on medication, so that you know if you need to adjust those or not, and work with your doctor to potentially adjust those or titrate down and off of some of those. So again, not medical advice, but carnivore is going to give you the best chance, I believe, at correcting the situation.
Yeah. And so this may be someone who needs to not just go with like a strict beef. Maybe to incorporate seafood, incorporate a little bit of liver, some of these other things that will help support the thyroid.
We have a $20 super chat from USMCPD. Thank you so much.
Woo!
Great job, everyone. Looking forward to the documentary. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Every penny we get from the super chats goes 100% towards our project. And just real quick, we're making some incredible progress on the documentary. Our editor, John, is doing a great job and sending us updates, and it's been really fun. So we're really excited. Appreciate people's patience, but excited.
What do they say about the United States Marine Corps, Kerry?
What's
That's
that?
the men's department of the Navy.
That's right. Love it.
Hooah.
Thank you so much, USMCPD. We appreciate you. All right. Becky followed up on an earlier one. Thanks to my incredible gift to always mention that sugar is poison. Her daughter finally started looking into it herself and is kind of scared straight. ChatGPT, I believe, is where she was reading from. Oh, there we go.
Maybe when you had that argument with ChatGPT, you just convinced ChatGPT, and now that gives that advice.
Right.
ChatGPT is so easy to convince, though, too.
Yeah. Sometimes when I use it, I'm like, don't just go with what I say.
Just agree with me.
Yeah, stop agreeing with me.
Who's the top carnivore influencer? Kerry Mann. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you got to tell chat to be objective. Otherwise, it's going to be like, oh, you're so wonderful. You're so smart. You're so right.
Tammy Goff, excited to be here. 90-day carnivore. Congratulations.
Great job, Tammy.
Tammy would love to see another comment with any kind of progress or anything that you've noticed 90 days on carnivore.
Yeah, Tammy, let us know how it's going. All right, we got a question from Carnivore Lifestyle Anthony. Is there a significant difference between ground beef and ground chuck? I think this is Ashley question.
Sure. No, there's not a significant difference, except if you know that you're getting ground chuck, you just know where that meat is coming from. A lot of times ground beef is just made with a lot of different scraps and stuff as they're cutting off steaks. They put that into the grind pile, right? And so that is ground into the ground beef. So it can be just buying ground beef can be almost any part of the cow that they use for the grind. But when they specifically say chuck, that's coming from the chuck primal probably, and the cuts from the chuck that are left over when they cut out the chuck roast and some of the other cuts they get from that. I did one the other day. I ground up some chuck, some flank steak, and some pork belly. So I was going to try a new burger with it like that. And I'm going to keep tweaking. Turned out pretty good, but I got a couple of other ideas maybe to make it a little bit better. But you can grind whatever you want into burger.
All right. Here's a fun question from Aisha Faust. What other carnivore dishes are you planning for Thanksgiving? Besides the turkey for us, hard-boiled eggs, bacon, beef stew. We just go crazy. We do a whole bunch of different types of meat. Last year we did chicken wings, and I think I did a prime rib roast too. We just do like a meat buffet, and we turn it into a big event. But in terms of like side dishes, not that many. What do you guys think? You got any side dishes?
We always do deviled eggs.
Yeah, I was going to say deviled eggs as well. That's a good one. I'm with you, Kerry, especially if I'm hosting or there's other people coming over. Prime rib is a good go-to for me because I mean, who's going to turn down prime rib? But yeah, it becomes a meat fest, meat celebration. It's great.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try some of Courtney Luna's recipes and see, because I mean, she very generously shared some of her recipes for us on our Healing Humanity Life site, and so which was awesome, and it's kind of inspired me to want to try more of her recipes. So I might try some of hers for Thanksgiving.
You just made me think of one of hers that I haven't tried. I had her on the channel a while ago. And I think I was asking her what are some of her go-tos, and I think one of them that she mentioned was what was it? Bacon cheeseburger soup.
Yes,
and it looks incredible.
Looks
I'm
amazing.
Like, that would be good for Thanksgiving. A little bit of soup.
If you want to have multi-courses, it'd be nice to have a soup course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we got a question from Uncle Charlie. Did anybody see the new picture that Dr. Sean Baker posted 2 days ago? This guy is jacked and ripped at once. I did not see that particular
I didn't see the picture.
Yeah,
I agree.
One he's talking about, but he's jacked and ripped in a lot of his pictures. Yes.
Somebody asked me a question on YouTube the other day, and they said, "Do you know of anyone that's working out really hard on carnivore?" And then they said, ... other than or more than Dr. Baker. And I'm like, no, not more than.
Who does more than
Coach Lisa?
Yeah, that's probably the only close one I could think of. Dr. Baker is an absolute inspiration. That guy is.
Dr. Baker is so jacked that his bicep has a bicep.
So here's what I want. I want to get Dr. Baker and Coach Lisa together and put them up against each other.
Oh, the problem is they'll turn it around and they'll make us do it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So I want to watch the footage. I don't want to be there.
You know, the other person, I just saw it in the comments, so I'm cheating. Officer Magoo put it in there, so I got to give him credit. But Rancher Maggie might work out more than both of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not officially working out.
Not officially working out,
right.
but with what she does
Yeah.
all the time, every day. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still my favorite advice from doing all this documentary stuff was Dr. Baker saying, the best thing you can do as a carnivore is be an example. Be an example to your family. Good advice. Don Smith said, what time should we be there on Thanksgiving? I think we're talking about Ashley's house because we got deep fried turkey going and we got briskets going.
I don't even know where I'm going to be this Thanksgiving. Yeah, well, I'd have to get with the wife to find out where we're even going to be this Thanksgiving.
Well, we're going to be just coming back from Hack Your Health.
Well, it's after that.
It's after that. Well, yeah, actually for me, I'm going to be in Florida for 2 weeks. So
I think what Kerry's saying is I have a work event that I've smoked and or deep fried turkeys for years for our office. And I think this is going on year 15.
They must love you so much, by the way.
So
I'm going to go to Kerry's for Thanksgiving.
So we're doing that November 7th, and I'm going to have 6 turkeys. So that's
wow.
3 are going to be smoked and 3 are deep fried.
Wow.
In bacon grease.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Okay, we got a question from Healthy Mama. Would dairy or eggs aggravate seborrheic dermatitis.
Yeah,
Seborrheic. That's what I meant.
dermatitis. Yeah, they can, because the egg whites are high histamine. And so if you have histamine issues, yes, it would be the egg whites. And then dairy could be the casein. Hard to say with the dairy, but I would say I would put more credence on the eggs themselves, the egg whites. So you can always try just yolks or try to avoid both and see if things improve. But I would do Adam is the best example when it comes to doing scientific elimination to try to figure out what's causing your symptoms. Truly only eliminate one thing at a time. But I would say maybe if it was me, I'd say start with eliminating the eggs and see if you get better.
All right. We're going to be doing a drawing in just a minute for the Healing Humanity shirt. So get your questions and your carnivore testimonies in with the hashtag ribeye. We have a celebrity in the building. Bill Knott has entered the building.
Hey, Bill.
If you guys didn't see Bill's last YouTube video, by the way, it was pretty awesome. Bill Knott on YouTube. All right. We have a question from USMCPD. I'm still worried about getting off my cholesterol medication. Should I be worried? With the caveat that we're not doctors.
I don't think any of us can tell you for certain, because we don't know for certain exactly why you were put on it, because there are some people who do have a very, very high amount of the dense LDL particles. So I would say get an advanced lipid panel. And first of all, if you're carnivore, your LDL should be over time should be switching from the small, dense cardiovascular risk type of particle to the big fluffy particles that don't have the cardiovascular risk. And none of these is really like a super, like absolutely like predictor of cardiovascular risk, but a better predictor of risk than LDL is your triglyceride to HDL ratio. And so on carnivore, your triglycerides should come down and your HDL should go up and your ratio should improve. So I'd definitely be looking at the triglyceride to HDL ratio. And then I would say to find out what the particle sizes are. If you haven't been carnivore, or you're not, like if you're not carnivore yet, or you're just getting started, maybe wait 6 months and then go and get those tested. But in the meantime, educate yourself on the truth about cholesterol, because there's so much that we've been taught that is wrong about cholesterol, and also educate yourself about the risks and or benefits of statins. There are a lot of risks with statins, and there's research showing how statins do not improve longevity. And the older you get, the more likely you are, if you're on a statin, to develop things like Alzheimer's, heart disease, higher risk for stroke, higher all-cause mortality. So just spend this time learning. I wouldn't rush into doing anything, but get the labs, like a 6-month follow-up, and get that advanced lipid panel and see what your particle size is.
Yeah, I love that advice, and I just second that as well. Do more research. There's a lot of really great information out there. Two that come to mind: Dr. Ovadia and Dr. David Diamond. We listened to a presentation he did about cholesterol and statins, and it was incredible. And there's videos online if you just look for it. USMCPD, Dr. David Diamond statins. There's some really, really good information in there.
Yeah. And don't expect cooperation from your doctor if you do decide to decline. You may very rarely have a doctor that's very supportive, but a lot of doctors aren't. And they get held accountable for at least telling you need to be on it. But you do, as a patient, after you've educated yourself, you do have a right to decline.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say on it real quick too is I was on that medication for many years. And the thing that blew my mind, I don't know if you've learn this or not, but 99 out of 100 people that take a statin get 0 results.
Right.
And you can Google that, and I encourage you to research that and look into that. There's a lot of very misleading marketing going around about statins. Like when I was on them, I was told you have like a 30 to 40% reduction, but there's absolute reduction and there's relative reduction, and they use some clever, if not downright misleading marketing on the effectiveness of those statins. It's really, really crazy when you actually dig into the numbers. And Dr. David Diamond gives a really good explanation for that as well.
And it does lower LDL, but if you really dig in and you find out like what, the thing with LDL is that, okay, yeah, you've got this number, this is your LDL, but there's components, there's particles, there's different size particles. And so the statin will lower your total LDL, but unfortunately it mostly lowers the big fluffy particles that have no cardiovascular risk to you at all. So it barely even touches the small, dense particles that actually have cardiovascular risk. So the benefit really is, I mean, what did they say? The longevity studies say that it may extend your life by 3 days.
If you take it every single day for like 30 years, you'll get 3 more days or something like that.
And it significantly increases your risk of diabetes and Alzheimer's. Right. And
it's a great question too. We could do a whole video on this. The other thing I was just thinking real quick, I learned this from Dr. Nelson, who I think is in the chat, who's incredible, by the way. There's some really good studies on this as well. But the fact that there's about, I think it was 11 other factors that people should be worried about more in terms of heart disease.
He showed us last week. He showed us this slide. That was, pretty amazing.
Yeah, actually here, I still have it right here. So those are all of the things you should be worried about before LDL. LDL is way down here. Non-HDL, ApoB, triglycerides, obesity, smoking, family history, metabolic disease, type 2 diabetes. So there's actually a lot of things that everyone's worried about. Cholesterol and statins, and that's all they talk about. And there's so many other things above that. In particular, fixing your metabolic health, getting rid of inflammation, fixing insulin resistance should be on the top of the list.
Yeah, it's funny that type 2 diabetes is the largest risk factor, and they give you statins, which increase your risk for type 2 diabetes.
So backwards.
It is.
All right. Well, we're going to do a drawing now for the Healing Humanity shirt. Here we go.
All right. Do we need a drum roll or do we have it, Adam?
We do not have it.
Winner of a Healing Humanity shirt in color blue. And if you don't get a shirt and you want to get one, they're really cool. I don't have my new one on right now. Bill Cook 411. Congratulations. Adam, how can Bill Cook 411 claim his prize?
Well, Mr. Bill Cook 411, you can go to healinghumanity.movie/giveaway, fill out the form, and Ashley will promptly send you your shirt. Congratulations.
Congratulations. And if you feel left out and you still want a Healing Humanity shirt, you can get those at healinghumanity.movie. There's a merchandise tab right there. And all of those proceeds, 100% go to support Healing Humanity documentary and hopefully our future series. All right, we're going to give away one more thing here. We're going to give away 30-day membership to healinghumanity.life. Post your best question or your testimony. We love to hear your testimonies. What sort of healing have you found? Fixing your metabolic health. Post those with #life. 1 month free membership to our membership site, healinghumanity.life. We do over a dozen calls a week. We have doctors, experts, individuals. It's a big social media platform for fixing your metabolic health. We've also got courses and Q&As and all sorts of good stuff to help you on a path to healing. And if you don't win this, but you're still interested, there is a link scrolling along the bottom of the screen and in the description below. It'll get you 50% off your first month. So post your best question with #life. And the next question we have is, actually, we have a follow-up from Aisha. I am 2 days from 90 days and 34 pounds down. Thanks to this community for making it so easy to stick to. Congratulations, Aisha. That's awesome. All right. And Tim P has a question about sleep. Are you all thriving on less sleep needed overall? Typically sleeping about 5 hours at night as opposed to 7 or 8. Sometimes need a long midday nap. Adam, what about you?
Go ahead, Ashley.
Oh, that's okay. I was just gonna say it's funny. Right when I first started carnivore, I mean, energy levels were through the roof. You know, that was one of the things I noticed on the transition, that I just felt like energy levels were so great. I can 100% say I sleep deeper than I ever did before, or that I had in years that I can remember, because I didn't used to dream. I remember vividly dreams now, which didn't used to happen. But I do find myself sometimes during the middle of the day getting tired. I do find myself, wanting to sleep a little bit. But I would say for the most part, I feel much more energized than I did before. I don't think I need as much sleep. I'm definitely getting better quality sleep.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Oh, we got a bunch of questions now. Charlotte, can carnivore help with female hair loss?
Lynn?
Lynn, what do you think on that one? Normally I'd throw that to Dr. Nelson, but
Okay, I can say technically yes, and I've actually not experienced this myself. In fact, for me, I actually lost hair because of significant weight loss, but that can be from any diet. I think if you're looking at female hair loss, usually that has to do with hormones. I mean, it has to do with hormone imbalances. So from the perspective of, yes, it can help with balancing your hormones. That could help improve you with your hair, thickness, but you need to make sure you're eating enough. So very often with women, we have a long history of restricting. We have a long history of being afraid of eating too much fat. And when you're looking at wanting to balance out hormones, you need to make sure you're getting the fat. So I'm not going to give like a yes or no answer. I think, yes, it can help, but I think you need to do the right things. And I would definitely recommend searching carnivore hair loss and finding some of these YouTube influencers who've actually done it. I think Laura Spath is one of them. If I'm correct, she regrew hair, and I think there's some others that did that. And actually Coach Lisa as well. I think that she had some hair loss issues, and then her hair has been coming back as well. And my hair is growing back out again. So.
All right, we got a question for Ashley. Wood pellets or wood chips for smoking meats? What is your favorite?
Okay. Well, I have to answer that by first saying it depends on what type of smoker you have. Because if you have a pellet smoker, you definitely should use pellets. Wood chips generally burn a lot faster, right? And they're there just to kind of enhance flavor. If I'm thinking of the right wood chips that you're recommending or you're asking about there. Personally, I have a pellet smoker, so I use the gourmet blend is the one I buy from Traeger, and I get that from Costco. I really like that, but it's a blend of, if I'm not mistaken, some cherry, hickory, and maple. And I just love that combination. I think it smells great. It's got a little bit of a sweet to it, and that's my favorite. So if you have a Costco, I know you can get it there. It's a 33-pound bag for about $20. And I think that's better than where you can find it at most places.
All right. And we got a question from Nightfall Homestead. Who was this with the recipes? Courtney Luna, Luna. She's got a great YouTube channel. She's also doing the recipes in our membership site, healinghumanity.life.
And if you happen to be near the San Diego or flying into San Diego, she'll be at our San Diego meetup. You can meet her live and in person.
There we go. January 17th. For those that missed that earlier, we're going to be having a meetup in San Diego, and there's a link in the description below if you want to join us out there, along with Courtney Luna. All right. Next question we have. PR64, does anyone do heavy weightlifting? What routine do you find best on carnivore keto? I've been experimenting with some stuff, but I don't have a lot of experience with heavy weightlifting. I've been trying to do the Dr. Baker farmer carry and increase the weight, but I don't have a lot of experience in that area. Anyone else here?
I don't. I just do the X3 bar. The X3 bar has a 600-pound band, and I can't even stretch it an inch. So I use the 300-pound band. So yeah, I can stretch the 300-pound band, but I don't think it's truly like a 300 pounds, except at the peaks. But I do use that. But no, not like the traditional heavy weightlifting. I know Ashley does though.
Yeah, right. There definitely are some fun channels that are out there too. And I mean, Dr. Baker puts up some good stuff all the time. I don't know if he's ever put like a routine though. I don't know that I've ever seen a video. That would be a good one for him to do, as far as just like what is a good like kind of weekly routine that he does. We should ask him when we see him at
Right.
Hackers.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that. He's usually switching things up, but he's got, it seems like there's more of the fitness stuff on Instagram for Dr. Baker, so that might be a place to check out. All right, we got a question. If you're essentially eating 99% carnivore, is there any real negative health benefits to having some garlic, herbs, and spices? Is adding these things scientifically noted as being negative for health? What do you think, Lynn?
Well, I'll answer the second question first. So when it comes to nutrition, there really are no good scientific studies out there, because all of the studies out there are based on food frequency questionnaires, where they basically ask people to remember what they ate over sometimes a very extended period of time. Like, what did you eat in this category over the last year? How much did you eat? So I would say you're not going to find good science when it comes to nutrition. It pro or against anything related to nutrition. So I would say don't worry about that, because it doesn't exist. Now, negative health benefits versus positive health benefits is going to be very individual. So, for example, if you have histamine issues, if you have any particular sensitivities, if you have autoimmune diseases, there are people that have really significant sensitivities to seasonings. I happen to be one of them. Like, for me, there's a lot of seasonings I can't eat at all because they cause a histamine reaction for me. So it's going to be very, very specific to the individual. So if you do fine with the spices, then great, because there's a lot of people who do. But I would say really pay attention to what fine means, because there's so often that we don't necessarily notice that, we may wake up the next morning with joint pain, or it may hit a few days later. You may have a headache. You may have congestion that sets in. You may have a little it in your gut. So just be aware of how these different effects can possibly manifest. And those also may be very specific to you as well. So if you're going to eat them, just pay close attention to how your body responds, and don't assume it's going to be immediate or even necessarily the next day, because it could be a few days out.
All right. And we have a testimony from Pub Eater Bob, down to 297 from over 525 pounds. 2 years and 2
Awesome.
months. No more type 2, no more fatty liver, no more depression.
Yay.
And we will see Bob and his pants.
And his pants.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Bob. Congratulations. Really inspiring.
Bob's going to have to lift weights to carry those pants.
Here's a question for Adam on coffee. What's your opinion on drinking black coffee on carnivore? Are you coffee drinkers, yay or nay?
So I was a coffee drinker until Sunday of this week. My opinion, honestly, I drink coffee for the caffeine. Okay. So I felt like I needed this kick, this boost, whatever it is. Honestly, it was just almost like a mental disorder with me. It really is a mindset thing, I think, with a lot of people with coffee, that we think that we need this. And ancestrally, it's really not a food that we would have made. You're gonna hunt, you're gonna gather berries, things like that, ancestrally. So you're not gonna take the time to roast beans and grind them and pour hot water through them and all that sort of stuff. For me, anyways, it's not natural, and it seems almost ridiculous that humans even drink this stuff. And if you look at it, even more macroscopically, it's more of a product that someone else is selling to you that you believe that you need. I definitely believe that, but now I'm getting in the weeds. But so can you drink black coffee on carnivore? Some people can, and it doesn't seem to affect them. Also, the amount that you drink can affect you in different ways as well. As I shared in our members stream on .life earlier, I am reading this book called Caffeine Blues, and it's a big eye-opener to how much of a neurotoxin that caffeine actually is. It's essentially a drug, just like amphetamines. It's just legalized. So I am not a coffee drinker anymore. I would say nay for me personally. So I'd really would love to hear what you guys think. I know Ashley's a coffee drinker, so I'd like to hear what you got to think on this.
Well, for me, it was, again, when I started on this carnivore journey, I wanted to kind of validate a few things. And part of that is that I wanted to make sure that I wasn't addicted to something to a point where I couldn't get rid of it if I didn't need to. So I have kept coffee out a couple of times just to validate that I could, and, you know, the willpower. I didn't notice that big of a difference one way or the other for me. So I have kept it in. However, I question it every 6 months or so. I was like, maybe I should take it out. So, you know, I still have some big question marks there. One of the persons in the comments said that they also use their iodine. They put their iodine in their coffee. I do the same thing because I can't take iodine. I don't like the taste of it by itself or in water or soda water. So I don't taste it when I put it in the coffee. So that's how I like to take it too. So I don't know. I'm not trying to give people an excuse to drink the coffee, but that's just what I do. But I have gone through two different 30-day periods where I've completely eliminated the coffee just to experiment on myself, because I know everybody's a little bit individual and different.
You almost exactly to a word mimic my experience as well. Like I totally relate to what you just said, because it's exactly the same for me, including using it to mask flavors of things that I need to take that I don't like the flavor of. Absolutely, that's what I do. But I'm the same as you, except with one exception. And that is when I've gone off of coffee, I do feel better. And so I would probably do well not drinking coffee and finding other ways of, like, I have Coach Lisa has me doing Soleil water, and I really just don't like the taste in water. And so I've been, putting it in my beverages, which tends to be coffee.
One thing I want to add to that too in this book, and I definitely recommend this. I'm not an affiliate or anything. It's a really good book called Caffeine Blues by Stephen Chernisky, MS. So he also talks about studies where caffeine actually will release excess glucose and fats from the liver. So that could potentially be a problem for some people, especially if you're diabetic. And then as well, the caffeine raises cortisol, and cortisol plays a big role in converting proteins to glucose through the process of gluconeogenesis. So that's sort of what I'm in the process of trying to debug right now. That's why I've stopped the coffee. I'm wearing a CGM and monitoring my ketones and things like that to try to get to the bottom of why my blood glucose is a little bit higher. And I suspect that the coffee might be the source of the issue. So I'll definitely come out with a video with results on this, especially if I find anything in relation to coffee. That way I can potentially help others that are having this issue.
Good stuff. All right. We got a question. Can you recommend a brand of vitamin D3 for winter time?
I use Dr. Berg's
Same.
D3K2 with the 10,000 IU of D3.
Let's go with that one. That's the one I use too.
Where do you order that from?
I ordered it
on Amazon.
Yeah. You just text Dr. Berg.
Yeah.
Send me some, bro.
All right. Speaking of K2, what would cause K2 to drop from 1.79 to 0.7 in the low zone? Dr. Nelson? Oh, he's not here.
Well, I mean, let's assume you're eating carnivore. Oh, it's Nina. Yeah. Okay. I know Nina. So K2 is in a carnivore world is really found in fat. It's not found in protein. So it could be an absorption issue potentially, but it could be that you're not getting enough fat. Also, I'd definitely check your vitamin D levels. Speaking of vitamin D, because they have a synergistic relationship. So if your vitamin D levels are adequate and you're eating enough fat so that it shouldn't be dropping, then I would definitely be concerned about it being just like a malabsorption issue that's not clearing up. There's also, with so many things, when it comes to not absorbing some specific nutrients, there can be a genetic variant that could be causing a problem with you being able to absorb or process that. So you can definitely look into that and see if you've ever had any genetic testing. through Ancestry or 23andMe, check and see whether or not you've got the variant. And there can be some strategy and has a lot of good recommendations for what to do if you have some specific variants to help increase your absorption.
Yeah, along with that too, I have heard that because D3 and K2 are taken together, that sometimes they can be taken together or they're sold together. If you're in excess with your D3 intake, but you're not taking K2, that could really affect your K2 levels as well. Also, there's opportunity for error with these tests as well. So you could be potentially looking at that, maybe get retested and see where you're at. And then calcium supplementation too. I think I've heard people taking excess amounts of calcium that can affect the K2 as well.
All right. We're getting a flood of questions here at the last minute. Since she's my mom, I'm going to pick her first. Traveling carnivores. Lynn looks fantastic since I saw her in Tempe, Arizona meetup. Sure lost more weight.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Mom. Mom is, I think Mom is
like-
around 900 days carnivore right now. My mom and my stepdad, Bill, both around 900 days carnivore.
I just surpassed my 1,000 day and I didn't post it.
Oh, man, come on.
I think I'm like 3 days away.
Congratulations.
Wow.
I'm at 955 today. I got a little bit to go. We'll see
Sweet.
if I make it.
I don't know.
You gonna add some carbs?
We'll have to see. Scott has a question for Lynn about histamine. Can histamine and bacon cause headaches?
Yeah. I mean, histamine can cause headaches. I witness, if you think it might be histamine, the best way of testing it is to take a histamine blocker and see if your headaches improve. So it's one of those things where you have to, yes, it absolutely can. Whether if that's what's doing it for you, you kind of have to test that out and see. Avoiding bacon is a way of doing it. Also, try an H1 and an H2 blocker. The only issue with trying like an H1 blocker is that if it doesn't specifically tell you it was the bacon that was the problem, it just tells you it was a histamine issue, which could be from stuff in the air. It could be a sinus issue. So the only way to really test to see whether it's the bacon is to stop eating the bacon.
All right. And our friend Thomas, Target Prime Rib. Kerry, did doing dry fasting help you in any way? Was thinking of trying it during a couple of my fasting windows of 18 hours. Yeah, I felt incredible doing a dry fast, and I've done lots of water fasts as well. And going forward, I'm probably only going to do dry fast, but I would recommend doing your own research, and I wouldn't recommend rushing into it. And I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. There's a really good book called Phoenix Protocol by August Dunning. If you're considering doing dry fasting, that's a good way to do some research on it. I'd maybe pick up that book. Thank you, Thomas, Target Prime Rib. Thomas, Target Prime Rib has a cool YouTube channel, and he's always looking to interview folks. All right. Vera says, yes, I was thinking the same about Lynn looking particularly lovely tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Getting a lot of comments in there, Lynn. There's more piling in.
It's funny. Our realtor came over last night because apparently everything's down online, so we can't sign anything. We put in a new offer on this property we're trying to get. She had to do it manually, and I hadn't seen her for a few weeks. And she came in and she said, "You've lost more weight." And it's only been like 3 weeks, so people are seeing things that I don't see, I guess.
That's awesome.
I mean, I see myself every day, so I don't really notice.
It's hard to see those gradual changes like that when somebody
Yes.
hadn't seen you in a while and then they come in, they're like, whoa.
Yeah, but it was surprising from her because, like I said, it had only been a few weeks since I'd seen her.
I keep getting that short show up in my suggested feed or whatever of you, Lynn, with the rosacea.
Oh,
And it's like, wow, like, man, what a massive transformation. Like, incredible.
Yeah. So we're giving away a Healing Humanity membership if you post a question with hashtag ribeye, post your testimony, or if you compliment Lynn, you get entered as well. Hashtag life right now. We got a couple more questions that came in here. Officer Magoo. So could you sneakily be getting any organs in minced beef? I don't know, Adam, you have any thoughts on that one?
I don't know if they sneak them in there, but there are companies that do sell them grinded into the meat, and you can actually request that to be done as well. Yeah, I'm not sure about sneakily. Maybe if you're a parent and you're trying to do that with your kids, maybe you're sneaking it in there. What do
That
you
could
think,
be a good
Ashley?
move.
I think it was Lynn,
Yeah.
right? Didn't you do that where you got some liver and grind it into some of your hamburger? You're like, that's the way you found that you could actually eat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was actually an ancestral blend that had liver in it. Yeah, so that's the only way I can handle the liver.
Yeah. If you're trying to get more liver, I'd recommend it. I did that early on. It was the same thing, Lynn. It was called Ancestral Blend. And I'm like, these are really good burgers. I wouldn't have known. If no one told me, I wouldn't have known I was eating liver.
Yeah.
That's the first question my wife asked me when I told you I did that grind the other day with the flank steak and whatever. She the first question she said, "Did you put anything else in here, like liver or heart or anything?"
Well, the question you had to ask her if she's eaten already. But first, did you like it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, this is before she had it, so she wasn't going to try it.
Oh, okay.
Sheep fries.
Bob said, I thought Lynn had a filter on.
Oh,
Let's go. Awesome.
you know, it's funny because when we were at Low Carb for Better Health, I actually had a couple people that came up to me who told me that I actually look younger in person than I look on YouTube. So I'm going,
You just
okay,
look terrible on YouTube.
I look old on YouTube.
All right. We're running towards the end of the hour here. We got Grandma's Crochet Corner. She's awesome. Jen and I watch her YouTube channel. Question: so far, I have lost about 120 pounds.
Woohoo!
That is incredible. And my fat apron is hanging very low. I'm 65 years old and still have another 150 to lose. Is there anything I can do now to keep the hang from worse? I guess loose skin sort of question.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Maybe some fasting, you know, to get the autophagy kicking in. You know, there's no guarantee when it comes to loose skin, but I know that people will swear that by getting into autophagy can help. And exercise, just to help develop some muscle tone, can help. But, you know, it's not necessarily going to be a miracle cure.
Tallow on the skin?
Maybe some tallow.
Yeah, as you age, it gets a little bit harder for the elasticity to come into play. And depending on how large it is, you know, if you are going to exercise, you know, make sure everything's secure. So, you know, if things aren't getting in the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. We're going to do a drawing right now. In order to win, make sure you're following Adam Carnivore Today, Ashley Carnivore Brothers, Lynn at Midlife Carnivore, Dr. Nelson. I have those links all in the description below. And we're going to be giving away a 30-day membership to healinghumanity.life. Here we go.
Okay.
The winner of a Healing Humanity 30-day free membership is...
There we go.
Where Pigs Fly Farm. You win just because that's an awesome name. Adam, where can Where Pigs Fly Farm claim their prize?
Well, Kerry, Where Pigs Fly Farm.
Come on.
You can go to healinghumanity.movie/giveaway. Fill out the form, and Lynn will send you your coupon code promptly. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Awesome. And we apologize if we weren't able to get to your questions. We had a flood of them come in there at the end, but we do answer lots of questions at healinghumanity.life. You can still get 50% off your first month if you want to give it a try. There is a promo code at the bottom of the screen, link in the description below. And we do this call every Thursday, 6 p.m. Central. So if we miss your call, come back next week and make sure to ask as early as possible. Before we wrap things up, Adam, Ashley, Lynn, you guys got anything coming up you want to shout out or mention?
Hack Your Health, hackyourhealth.com, code HHLife to get some money off on your tickets. And I'm really excited about that trip, you guys. We'll all be there. All of us will be there, as well as Dave's husband. Lynn's husband, Dave, will be there as well. But really, honestly, you know, as excited I am as for that, I'm really excited for Meat Stock next year. Scott Everson's event, a Meat Stock. So Use the code Healing Humanity with Meat Stock to get your tickets there, $50 off as well. And yeah, we hope to see you at either one of those.
Yeah. And I definitely want to encourage people, especially as we're in the holidays. I mean, tomorrow is Halloween, and I know that can be a struggle during the holidays because there's garbage food all around us. Consider making an investment into your health and get the support and join a community. And we hope that it's ours. It doesn't have to be ours, but we hope that, you'd consider joining our community because it does help to support the documentary as well. But then we have Zoom calls so that anyone who doesn't get their questions answered here, we can absolutely be face to face. And it also here's a benefit. I'm just going to do a little bit of more of a push here. Here's a benefit for doing it in that type of forum is that so often when we get questions that come through here, we would love to get more information from you. And so when we are on a Zoom call from you, we can actually ask you more questions. And me as a nurse, my brain automatically goes to, I want to do a nursing assessment. I want to ask a lot of questions from a nursing standpoint. And so in our Zoom calls, we can do that. We can actually drill in and actually ask you those clarifying questions so that we can get you even better answers that are more personalized for you.
Awesome. Love it. Ashley, anything coming up?
Hack Your Health is the big one. We're just getting really excited for that one. It's going to be big, but again, it was already mentioned, but if you're going to be there, please come by, say hello, please introduce yourself and let us know what your YouTube handle is so that we can put faces to names. That's just always a fun time to actually do that and see people and get to meet people in person. So come on by.
Good stuff. Well, thank you guys all for joining us tonight. Thank you for all the great questions. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week on the next one, 6 p.m. Central every Thursday. Have a good night, everyone. See you on the next one.
Good night.
Good night.